So was there anybody that inspired you growing up or as you transitioned into this that you like looked up to?
So this, the whole transformation thing became addicting when I first started losing weight.
Okay.
So I had jaw surgery when I was 19.
Yeah. What happened to your jaw?
I just had a little bit of an underbite, and I wanted to get braces.
Yeah.
And they said if they do braces, they have to have jaw surgery. So they broke across here. So they shattered this, put plates in, brought my jaw here forward like 2 millimeters maybe.
Yeah.
But I was like pretty soft 275, 280 in high school. And then I lost probably 60 to 70 pounds of that within like 4 months.
What's up, brother?
How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. So another day. First off, let's introduce you. So go ahead. You want to introduce yourself?
Tommy Busch. Currently your personal trainer over at Lifetime Oakbrook.
Yes, sir. So how's the day going?
Awesome.
Good. What all have you done today?
Had about a handful of clients.
Yeah.
Gotten some meals, programming later, leg workout, the usual.
I kind of want to, I don't know if I want to open up with what are you eating right now, what's the goals and what's the plans, but let's start there. Let's start with kind of your routine right now. What are you striving for? What are the clients doing? Kind of just give us a snapshot of life right now. Like what's going to be like the first quarter of 2023 looking like for you?
I'm trying to grow clientele base to about 20 to 25 clients.
Yeah. On a consistently weekly basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So somewhere 1 to 3 times a week.
Yep.
Plan is to do another 2 or 3 shows by the end of summer. So slowly start dieting back down.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
how many meals you putting down a day right now?
Probably 5 or 6 meals. Nothing super crazy. Meals are still pretty low.
Are you matching protein per pound? Do you do that or
close to? I'm trying not to have too much food. I'm trying to slowly get myself acclimated to like 250.
Yeah.
So I got up to around this time last year. I got up to like 280.
Oh, for real?
A little soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm trying to hold like 250, 255
I was
range.
going to say you're holding. Is it 8% or 9% body fat?
Just over 8.
Okay, I was going to say
I'm trying to maintain that, and the goal is to be under 5 for the summer.
Under 5 for the summer,
yeah.
And that'll be still holding 240.
If I can, we'll see.
Okay.
I'm more interested in just getting as lean as possible.
Yeah.
And we'll see what sticks.
And then you compete in classic?
Yeah, classic division, yeah.
Okay, because I just had a kid on yesterday, and he wants to compete in classic. He's 205, 19, around my height, so he's solid. You know what I mean? It's peeled.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a couple percent less body fat than me. And I want to say he explained it in a simpler way for me to understand it, but he said the classic or the show he wanted to do, it's the short, so it's more of a focus on the upper body.
Men's physique then.
Men's physique.
Yeah.
So that's not classic then.
No, classic is you're still in like the posing trunks like bodybuilders would wear.
Yeah.
A little bit less cheekage hanging out the back.
Yeah.
It's like old school trunks. Men's physique is more like board shorts, wide shoulders, small waist, abs, nice shoulders, all that stuff.
So no legs needed.
It's encouraged, but it's not pushed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then he said he trains with a guy that's well known at. Have you worked out at Mode Gym?
Mm-mm, no.
Okay, so there's a Mode Gym, I guess, around here, and he put me hopefully in contact with this guy, and he said he made 250, 300. I want to interview him, get him on the podcast just through personal training.
Yeah.
250,000. I feel like that's a lot of clients.
Is he doing a lot of online work then, or what is he doing?
I want to say it's mainly in person, and I think that's a lot. That's got to be a lot in like.
Yeah.
Because he charges, I think it's like 125, 150. I think, you know what I mean? And I think that's like at a nice gym. Isn't that like average?
I think it's feasible, but it's like if you, trying to think numbers wise, if you average like 30 to 35 hours a week training, depending on if he takes home all of that or he gets a piece to the gym.
Yeah.
When you think about percentages, because like depending on what tier we're at Oakbrook, you get like the 55 to 60% range of what you charge.
Yeah.
So if you're doing 30, 35 hours, you're making like 100, 120K.
Yeah.
So it's good money, but 250 is.
You're pushing it. Yeah. Yeah. I got to get I'm excited to see if we can get him on. I don't know if you heard of him. His name's Hector Salgado. He's not a big yoked dude. He looks like an under 200, just kind of cut. You know what I mean? So I might start doing personal training on the side, I'm thinking.
You'd be surprised. Like people in the industry that do really well in training, they're not like huge jack guys.
Yeah.
They look fit.
Yeah.
They move well.
I always wonder, I'm like, you know what? I wonder if I could just start going out to people and just pretend I know what I'm doing and be like, make sure you take the lateral bicep and make sure you like just start saying stupid shit that I have no idea.
No, you look the part.
Yeah.
You could pass.
For the under 200 pound club. My niche will be the high school kids. I'll be like,
ask them if they want a good chest pump. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, dude, your split needs to be biceps and calves.
Yeah.
Nothing else needed. So so I'm curious, what are you eating right now? Anything special?
I mean, I'm trying to be careful because of the holiday.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of sweets, so I'm trying to pull back on that. But I'm probably eating somewhere between like 8 to 10 ounces of chicken a meal.
Yeah, you love chicken. You do any seasoning or now?
Right now I'm lazy with the food prep, so I hit up Mariano's for like the Italian marinated chicken breast.
Yeah.
Real basic.
You won't add any hot sauce or anything? If you check the office, I've got hot sauce and salts everywhere.
Tapatio. I'm over a sriracha guy.
Yep. Dude, I've got this really fucked up thing I got to show you.
Yeah. What do you got? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I found this. I don't know where. I was on DoorDash one day, and this is the airplane cookie.
Oh, yeah.
That cookie. I eat this with my oats down there, so I'll be having this in the morning before we do legs tomorrow.
That's fantastic.
I let me see here how many sugars. This thing is so addicting. 18 grams of carbs per serving, 11 grams of sugars.
I mean, it's not too bad right before legs.
Yeah, there's a gram of protein in there. But I wonder, the ingredients are probably crazy. I have no idea.
I mean, if we're going for taste, that's a hit.
Yeah, who knows? But
I found the Cinnamon Toast Crunch seasoning.
I've got that down
I put
there
in
too.
notes.
Yeah, I saw you had that on your story, and I was like, oh, if he does it, I can do it. So.
Yeah. It passes.
Yeah, absolutely. So no seasonings or hot sauces, just outside of the Italian marinated.
Yeah, and then I love jasmine rice.
I was gonna say, do you carb cycle with it, or what do you?
Yeah, right now it's like if I'm on off day, I'll have maybe
Low
2 or
carbs.
3 meals will have carbs. The
Yeah.
rest will be, I'll add healthy fats. But meat and veggies.
Will you throw
are
me
staple.
that black pill jar? This is the creatine I was telling you I take.
Okay.
So I'll usually take one before and like one after. Connor told me to take like 8 of them. So
You gotta take more than that.
Take more than one before and one after.
Yeah.
Fuck.
If you want to take like 5 to 8 grams.
I don't track my
It's like
water
1,500.
enough.
Well, you gotta drink a lot of water, man.
Yeah, dude, my water is
Especially
orange,
if you're adding
juice.
creatine. I mean, creatine monohydrates were the hit. Like I've been doing 20, 30 years of studies. It's legit.
Yeah.
The crealkaline stuff, it's one of those things where if it's marketed well and all that stuff, I don't know how much more effective it is than creatine monohydrate. But
It just looks cool.
I mean, it's the cool label and
Yeah.
purple pills.
And then when I've substituted just this last week or so, because I felt like I put a couple pounds on that I didn't want over that holiday stretch.
Yeah.
And I've flattened out. I feel a little more closer to where I think I hover around 10% body fat. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think I substituted this last week the carbohydrate drink that I was doing.
Yeah.
And I pulled it out just to see if I would flatten out a little more. And I think I did. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I upped my jiu-jitsu, so that cardio.
It could imagine the cardio you put in jiu-jitsu is pretty intense.
It could be the jiu-jitsu and then subtracting out sugar. So because I won't do sugar during the week unless there's like microscopic like added sugars during that. But I don't hit that a lot. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on the carbohydrate drinks? Because I know you do the carb drinks.
Yeah, like the super carb drink from NutriBio. It's something like tastes awesome.
So the carb drink I do is the same brand as
EFX
this.
isn't that bad.
I believe it's the same brand.
But yeah, like the super carb drink, it's about 25 grams per scoop. Usually I do like a scoop and a half.
Yeah.
I'll start drinking that about 30, 40 minutes into my workout.
Yeah.
Because I'm still trying to kind of mimic carb cycling to stay like a relatively lean body mass. I don't want to get too crazy with carbs. Obviously, like I said, around the holidays was a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Cookies and other sweets.
I'm
trying to pull back.
I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about almost like cycling like doses of microdoses of metformin to like trigger like
I've heard of that too.
your like insulin to help cut. And I
Help,
was asking
help utilize the carbs better, more efficiently.
And I was like, I wonder if I was asking my guy that does all my stuff, and he was like, it's something we could discuss, but I wouldn't like you'd have to be really serious about like bodybuilding and lifting.
Yeah.
Because you have to time everything with the meals and be very strategic.
Mm-hmm.
Is what he was explaining to me. It's like it would make more sense if like I was really pursuing like some type of like.
Yeah, if you're to do like a contest prep or something,
yeah,
maybe dabble in that. But I've heard
guys pin insulin, like actually like,
yeah,
well, and that's really dangerous. I hear.
Yeah,
I've heard people have died.
I've heard guys do a metformin where the pumps are supposed to be better.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously these guys aren't diabetic and aren't facing like the same health risks that people that are prescribed metformin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've also obviously in the bodybuilding world, insulin's heavily used to help take in a lot of carbs.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane. And then I think of the guys that I hear like that Rich Piazza guy. You know what I mean?
Piana,
the guy that passed away. It's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll hear different stories of like, you know, like you'll be hyped up on so much gear and then they'll get on downers or painkillers. I forget the exact story with what happened with him.
A lot of pills.
So it's like, but then I hear stories of like guys will pin insulin and it'll just completely screw up their system and they'll like suffocate or something like that. I have no idea.
I know like there's some guys that like in the pro ranks they've abused insulin to carb load, especially like into shows, but guys will abuse it to the point where like they turn themselves into type 1 or type 2 like diabetic or something.
Yeah.
And there's a few guys like the early 2000s that dealt with that. It's just scary, dude.
Yeah.
I've tried it before. I'm like,
scary.
Not worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about born and raised, you know what I mean, your life and how you got into the position where physical, just your athleticism and pursuing kind of the career and like lifestyle that you do right now. So
grew up playing football, took some time off from school, went back to school, tried to play at college at DuPage, dislocated a shoulder a third time.
Yeah.
I'm like, football's not in the cards.
So you've dealt with shoulder injuries pretty much your whole life then.
Yeah, and then recently got into a car accident where I tore the labrum now. Just found out it's torn. So I've been like working around that. But yeah, it's in 2005 I entered the National Personal Training Institute to become certified.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing personal training since 2006. I've done 7 bodybuilding shows now, like men's, like classic Physique, and then bodybuilding.
Okay.
So I did a little bit of bodybuilding in the beginning.
And now, what the difference between is the physique? You want to look more sculpted, and then the bodybuilding is you just want to look. You want to be strong, or
So bodybuilding, it's anybody over in my weight class was anybody over 225.
Okay.
Which I was kind of screwed.
I wouldn't do well there.
But it's like one of those things where it's like guys are 5'8" to 5'11", over 225.
Yeah.
They're like bowling balls. Like they're huge, wide. I look like if Michael Phelps hit weights,
mini man
standing
height
next to them. I'm like, this is not a good division for me.
Yeah, that's my height group, mini man.
Yeah, 2013 was the last time I did bodybuilding.
Okay.
Yeah, so then 2019 I started doing classic. It's a lot more my cup of tea where it's like I'll compete against guys who are 6 feet or taller.
Yeah.
Which is more advantage for me because having these long limbs in bodybuilding is not good.
Would you say, like, obviously, I mean, if you think of physics and you think of just common sense, would you say it is more difficult when you get into a position such as like the bench press and you have longer limbs, so there's a longer gap to have that physical lift?
For sure.
Would it not be harder for somebody, obviously, with the longer limbs to do something like the bench press?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, you see guys that are like 5'5" to 5'9" or benching like 4 or 5 plates.
Just like T-Rex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing like 4-inch reps. And it's it's
I
cool,
had a guy I had a guy when I first got in the insurance industry tell me if you move the weight, it counts. And he would be one of those guys that really bows his chest and it would just
and the ass is off the seat. Like
me. So it's just like crazy. And I'm like, and so I lived by that for a long time of like, all right, dude, I'll go in there and just start rowing the heaviest weight, 120, just to, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just
pull some weights.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it. It's probably some type of weird bicep movement. Not even a.
That's why your forearms and biceps are yoked.
Yeah. So Matt, look at that. Get some. So, but now, were you born in Illinois?
Yeah.
Okay, so raised Illinois.
Yeah, Winfield, Illinois, and then moved to Florida till I was about like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Then we moved back up here. I've been up here since.
What was in Florida?
My dad's side of the family.
Okay.
So we were like near like Vero Beach, like Orlando area.
Oh, okay, cool. So you got a little bit of Disney in?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who are you closest with now, mom or dad?
Probably pretty close to my mom though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they still together?
No, they're separated.
Okay,
divorced.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then what are they retired now, or what do they do?
My dad's retired. He's living in Florida full time now.
Okay.
My mom's still here in Illinois.
Okay, cool. So, and then from there, I'd say now you have siblings, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
I'm the oldest. I got a younger sister and brother.
Okay. And the sister, she is she in insurance too?
Auto insurance, yeah.
Yeah, so she's an
in
auto
Geico.
insurance. Out
She's
in the
over Utah.
Okay, Utah.
Yeah.
Cool. You're in Nevada. Were you ever in Utah?
I was born in Utah.
Oh, for real? What part of Utah?
Sandy.
Sandy?
You know where Layton is?
Yeah.
That's where my sister's at.
Layton?
It's
Yeah.
a good area.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah.
And what's your little brother do?
Right now, he's sort of between jobs.
Okay.
He did a server job for a little while. He had some like minor acting roles. He was in a movie, Only the Brave. So he's
Yeah. That
trying
sounds
to
familiar.
jump into like pursuing that.
Yeah.
Came out in like 2017.
Is he Illinois also then?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Does he ever come to Oak Brook?
Trying to get him to come out, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. So when's the next show?
Looking at June, that show will be in Wisconsin, and then the Wings of Strength will be in Tinley Park in July.
Okay, so you'll be June and July just pretty much
Just back to
cutting.
back,
yeah, just
Yep.
like that'll
I'll
be a
probably
real dry
start the
month.
cut probably end of February.
So I know June and July I'll have really easy leg workouts because he'll be dead.
I mean, we'll just have very bland conversation.
Yeah, very.
I'm just like, staring at the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is going on? What's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
So who really well, first off, with bodybuilding and men's physique, can those lead to Olympia, Mr. Olympia?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Both of them, or which one?
All of them are like part of Mr. Olympia. Right?
Okay.
So like Mr. Olympia, I look at, that's like the open division. That's Mr. Olympia, right?
Okay.
So those guys are like the guys that are freaks,
Yeah.
cartoon characters, right? So, like C-Bum.
Yeah.
And those guys, that's classic division.
Yeah.
Those guys are a little bit more like commercial and all that stuff. He can still claim he's like Mr. Olympia classic. But yeah, like all that stuff works up to the Mr. Olympia show, yeah.
And then
Pro ranks.
And with that, is there any height or weight divisions with Mr. Olympia, or it's just anything goes?
Mr. Olympia is just open.
It's just open.
Yeah. There's a 212 division. You got to be under 212. Those guys are like
Okay.
very small.
Yeah.
It's very small humans, so like 5'4" under,
Yeah.
But they're huge.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that
if you're
classic-
5'3", 212 pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
But yeah, the classic is depending on your height. So for your height, you have a cap on your weight.
Okay.
That's how they kind of differentiate from like the open.
So was there anybody that inspired you growing up, or as you transitioned into this, that you like looked up to?
So this the whole transformation thing became addicting when I first started losing weight.
Okay.
So I had jaw surgery when I was 19.
Yeah. What happened to your jaw?
I just had a little bit of an underbite, and I wanted to get braces.
Yeah.
And they said if they do braces, they have to have jaw surgery. So
Yeah.
they broke across here. So they shattered this, put plates in, brought my jaw here forward like 2 millimeters maybe.
Yeah.
But I was like pretty soft 275, 280
Yeah.
in high school. And then I lost probably 60 to 70 pounds of that within like 4 months.
Yeah.
Which is
Can't
very
eat.
fast. Yeah.
So how long could you not have physical food?
10 days I was wired shut. So that was very claustrophobic. And then for 2 months I was on a soft food diet.
Yeah.
So it was just like yogurt and smoothies. But yeah, I quit eating pizza and all that stuff. My parents had a pizza place growing up too.
Oh, that's dope.
That doesn't help with the
Now, are you
obesity.
Italian?
No.
Holy shit.
Irish and English and
Okay. I
a
see the
mutt of
English a
everything
lot.
else.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that you look like a poster boy for like some type of English.
Yeah.
You could probably. Have you ever grown out like one of those
I wish I could.
curly
I
mustaches?
wish I could. Yeah.
It's embarrassing anytime I look at my facial hair and I see it on social media when I try to grow it out.
You had that handlebar thing going.
I don't know if I'd call it a hand. I'd call it like a dirt bar.
Yeah.
I would call. I'd call that like like the vacuum dirt that gets left around, or like it got blown onto someone's face.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're trying.
But yeah, that's how like the whole transformation addiction started then. I got really into that. That was probably 2004-ish. And then I got in, like a little more serious into working out.
Yeah.
And then that segued into me looking into being like a certified trainer.
Yeah.
And the ball started rolling there. I got into competing because I've always liked Arnold, all those old school bodybuilders. Followed like Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, all those guys in the early 2000s. Didn't really think I'd be able to compete because I was always a chubby kid.
Yeah.
But once I started like changing, my body started looking different. I'm like, maybe I could dabble and see what happens. And then the guy that I met out in Oswego, he's a personal trainer, owned a studio.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like stuff was happening in life where it's like I want to focus on something else other than drama, right? Like family stuff. So I jumped into a contest prep myself. Like I got help from Brooks Robertson out in Oswego.
Okay.
He helped me prep for a show. He said, I'll help you for free as long as you guarantee your family's going to buy tickets, because he was promoting the show.
Yeah.
So he's making sure he's getting seats filled, right? So I did a diet for 8.5 weeks, lost 60 pounds. I was very, very thin.
Yeah.
But I got very low in body fat, so it was interesting to see.
Yeah.
Me at 198 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That would be a high for me.
Yeah. So, yeah. That was a tough prep. I basically lived off of asparagus, green beans, and chicken and eggs and egg whites. That was it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, just like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, that was the first show experience. And then learned a lot from that, how sensitive my body was to carbs. And then I got into carb cycling. I did, I think 5 shows within 3 years. So I was living out of Tupperware pretty constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's cool to just see how your body transforms, see like what foods your body like easily assimilates, and then the difference between like the protein sources, carb sources you throw at your body, like how your workouts are affected, all that stuff.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's
it's
insane.
fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little experiment.
So, what's the next like 5-10 years look like for you?
To be honest, I was looking to relocate to Florida before I got that job at Oak Brook.
Yeah.
But now that I'm at Oak Brook, I've never had a personal training job that's been drama free.
Yeah.
Awesome atmosphere. Everybody there is like, for the demographic that goes there, all really driven, relatively really fit.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's a good group of people. Like Ramon, like
Yeah.
he's in there like 2-3 times a day and killing it. It's just like the people that are around there. It's very contagious, where it's just easy to stay motivated there.
Yeah, it is.
So it's gonna be hard to. I don't think I'll leave.
Yeah.
Just build a clientele base there. Try and build up my like online presence, where it's like helping people with programs, nutrition, doing more online help too. But yeah, I'm just loving it over there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you mind the cold, or is the cold just all right?
That's the thing. It's like every time this year,
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I live in Illinois?
Yeah.
So it's like that for like 8 to 12 weeks, where I'm like, why am I still here?
Yeah.
And then the spring comes around, I was like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm quickly adjusting, but I mean, I've been in the cold, I guess, in some way, shape, or form, because I was in Pittsburgh for 10 years prior to this, and Nebraska for 1 year, which Nebraska winters are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd say somewhat similar. You know what I mean? Because there were some negative 30s, negative 40 nights and days in Nebraska. You know what I mean? And crazy snow and different things like that. But just as windy. I think it was because it wasn't so mountainous. You know what I mean? So it's just like the
just
way
open fields.
the open fields and the way like the air is able to move just very, very quickly, I guess, throughout everything. So Chicago gives me that same feel, especially like even though Chicago will say in the weather app like it's negative 10 out, negative 10 in the suburbs is not negative 10 in the city.
Yeah.
Like negative 10 in the suburbs is negative 10. Negative 10 in the city is negative 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Way worse. Like waterfront and all that stuff.
That waterfront, and just, I don't know if it's like just deeper than, sea level or whatever it is. And it is horrible. You
like
turn
pierces your bones.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know how people just walk around and they just commute during the winter.
That's why I'd stay out of the city.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Now, are there any gyms outside of Oak Brook? I saw you just went to another gym with a bunch of equipment. What was that?
America's Gym.
Where's that
Up
at?
in Wheeling.
Okay.
Up by like Palatine area.
Okay. How far is that from here?
I'd say like 30 to 35 minutes.
Now, is that a gym you like to frequent?
If I could go up there, I would try to do it like 2 to 4 times a month.
Yeah, for legs.
Just because like for like all the equipment there for like push, pull workouts, everything. Like a lot of the equipment, it's something like you don't see it like an LA Fitness or an Export.
Yeah.
Especially Lifetimes. They cater a little bit more toward the physique athlete. So like it's a little bit more intricate to set up and contractions and everything. And like the biomechanics behind the machines are awesome. But yeah, I mean, there's specialty pieces for each body part.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it.
Now, I think in addition to the gym, what was I thinking? Now, I guess more so in regard to working out at that gym, are there other gyms that you hit for different things to kind of work around the shoulder? That's what I wanted to talk about. Are you going to need surgery for the labrum, and what are you doing to work around?
Yeah, so I talked to the doctor actually yesterday about it, and he said that they'll do the injection in about a week and a half when I get back from Florida, seeing my dad. And he says I should get full function.
Okay.
Don't need surgery. But yeah, it's just one of those things I'll have to go through physical therapy.
Yeah.
Just deal with all that stuff and then just slowly build up. So that was another pain in the ass where I got in a car accident. It was 5 weeks before the show that I did in November.
Yeah.
So that was pretty frustrating where it's a lot of movements I had to not do.
Yeah.
And just try to work around the injury and still do the show. Because I was 5 weeks out and I was already pretty lean.
Yeah.
It was like 6.5%. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going through with this and see what happens.
Yeah.
Experimented a little bit with the food and like how I carb loaded, pulled sodium, messed around with water. Didn't work out in my favor. But just, I mean, like everything else that I do with bodybuilding and competitions, it's an experiment. There's no like cookie cutter follow to get like super diced and dry and tight.
Especially with the body. The body changes so often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You could literally shift and change. Your body could look completely different in like 6 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I think of like those secret like spy movies or crazy like, you know, bank heist movies where like there's some type of safe that like is constantly changing its you know, code or whatever to crack it. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like the body is like that. It's like, well, isn't it like every 7 years your body replenishes its entire cell count or something?
Yeah. So that's another thing too. It's like I did those 5 shows early in the, like 2010 to 2013, right?
Yeah.
I can't do anything like close to like serving sizes, all that stuff for food. All that's different. I did another show in 2019, was way different than the show I did in 2013.
Yeah.
So it's, like you're saying, your body can be similar in some aspects, but then like your body's like sensitivity to certain foods can change pretty drastically within years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you said are they going to put stem cell in there?
I wish.
I'm
not making that kind of money at time yet.
I was gonna say, I did
a
a stem cell injection, but I screwed it up.
Really?
Yeah, I screwed it up. I figured stem cell, it's like Hulk juice, so I should immediately be fine. And
right.
It was when I tore the meniscus.
Okay.
So they put stem cell, and they did, I want to say it was PRP. It's blood-enriched plasma.
Yeah.
Transfuse your blood, spin it, and infuse it, whatever. You know, magical juice. And then they did ozone or something as well. And they put it in there, and I felt decent, you know what I mean, within a couple of days. So I went back to jiu-jitsu and just obliterated it even more, you know what I mean? So,
jiu-jitsu, that kind of thing that comes with the territory, right?
A little bit.
You're moving and bending things.
Especially at the lower level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A year ago, that would have been almost 2 years ago that I completely destroyed it. Almost 2 years ago. And at that level, I mean, you're talking about a decent white belt at best. And even now, I'd say I'm like on the cusp of like a okay blue belt. You know what I mean? I'm all right. And but I'd say the lower the level, it's like the higher the odds are for injury. Yeah. It's like somebody brand new coming in the gym and just throwing shit around. You know what I mean? It's like the better I remember 15, 16 years old, being 120, 15 pounds and putting 315 on the squat rack. You know what I mean? Just because my buddies and I wanted to go in the gym and just screw around. And we weren't going to do like, bitch weight.
Yeah,
so
lift as much as possible.
Exactly. So 3 times my size, step back, stutter step, and I mean literally until from 15 until like probably 19, 20, 21, maybe even up till 22. It's really been the last 2 years I haven't felt anything where I'd sit down and like if I was taking a shit or anything, like I would have like a numbness in the
like sciatic.
Yeah, the sciatic. Yeah. Just I was like, oh my dude, I know exactly what this is from. It's that stutter step with that 315 when I was a 15.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was another big, influencer for me for not hitting legs because it's like, well, I can't squat, so it's like, why would I squat?
Be careful, yeah. Like we've gone over in our sessions where it's like,
I love
crucial.
that machine we use.
That hack squat?
The hack squat's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
The biggest thing is like mechanics, understanding what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's like you're not trying to move from A to B, just move.
Yeah.
You have to be mindful, like make sure you're like everything's contracted.
It's so
cores
humbling.
engaged, like yeah. That was the biggest thing for me. 2012 and 2013 was when I first started getting like joint issues. Yeah. And that's when I realized like, so I can't just tricep press the whole stack and just get big arms. It's not that simple. So that's why you have to really take a step back, humble yourself a little bit, feel stuff engage properly. Yes. You don't feel joints throbbing and burning.
That's been my biggest emphasis, I think, last month or two is just slowly contracting to the best of my ability in the very small split that I do with the biceps, calves, and then Saturday's legs, and then I do incline. I'll do the incline dumbbells too, but even in the, 4 to 5 sets I'll do out of, each of those workouts and then legs. I know we've got the setup that I just run through whatever you do, but everything else I'm trying to do some form of like a negative, and then even on the return, on the positive or whatever it might be, just like a 2 to 3 second. Am I flexing the muscles that I'm trying to hit right now?
Yeah.
Especially with the calves, because I'm gonna reverse the, it's genetics. I'm gonna fix it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just 6 months of just calves every day. I'm gonna show you guys what can really
20-inch
happen.
calves.
Yeah. I'm gonna put everybody in a
200-pound club, whatever. 20-inch calves.
Dude, look, they're starting to already. I mean, these. I had to go buy.
His pants are tight.
Nah, dude. We just bought wider. Didn't I send you out to go buy wider pants?
Okay.
Yep. I had to get because these are you have to get Lululemon pants because you can work out in them.
Yeah.
They look like dress pants. I could go.
I got those Surge joggers.
I was gonna say it looks like you. Are they the same?
Yeah.
Like that. It's like that polyester type of material where it's like hard to like kind of like tell. You can kind of use them for different things. Sure. But these, I mean, these are crazy. You know what I mean? Look at that calf, dude. That's insane.
But I made a mistake of forgetting clothes sometimes, right? And like a few years ago, I was working out in them.
Yeah.
Split the ass out.
Oh,
on a leg day. So it's like, it's an expensive mistake.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm trying to think what are my most embarrassing moments in the gym. I haven't got anything stuck on me yet. So obviously my ego isn't that big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some kids in the office that got stuck with some embarrassing weights.
Oh.
Embarrassing. We got videos. Yeah. Which makes us probably even worse of a friend. or of a company.
Yeah, we got a library of fails here.
Getting stuck, or I can't. You know what, man? For me, it would probably just be the rejection of randomly going up to girls.
The clientele base is fantastic,
and honestly, I should just stop because it's an expensive gym, and this would get me canceled if this was a famous podcast. But I have to understand that like. All right, she got a husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
there's beautiful women in there everywhere.
Yes. But there is beautiful women in there that run their own business, that are highly successful, or go-getters, and are out there doing it on their own. But most of them, I got a husband. Yeah. Or I got a boyfriend. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like, I should have known that. And then...
Shoot or shoot, though.
Exactly.
Right?
And for me, it's more of the sales skill. It's like I'm building my confidence for the day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, because if I can ask the prettiest girl in here for a phone number... then I can literally ask anybody to buy some life insurance, or anybody to say, hey, listen, what do you do for work? You want to come sell life insurance? Like, I'm gonna be scared of some dude?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what about recovery? Do you do any cold tub stuff or any type of recovery stuff?
Kind of a bitch when it comes to that, to be honest with you. I did just recently start doing that because I've got plantar fasciitis. So I'm trying to use the cold plunge for like, at least for my ankle, my arch, and my foot, right?
Yeah. You tried moleskin in your shoes? Huh? You ever tried moleskin? It's like a padding that you can buy like at a pharmacy or different like that. I wonder if that's the same thing. You have like a pain in the arch.
Yeah, just very tight.
A severe pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had that playing football growing up, and we would go buy. It was called moleskin, and it was like a padding, and it would
like
alleviate
a Dr.
the
Scholl
pain.
situation where
something like that. Right? Yeah.
Okay. You'll have to look into it. It's one of those things where that actually started bothering me. Went away for a little bit, but it started bothering me when I did my first show.
Yeah.
So the gym I trained out of, it had an elliptical and a treadmill.
Okay.
The elliptical is kind of to be honest, it's kind of like a bitch thing to do for cardio.
Yeah.
It's kind of easy.
Is that like the treadmill? Just,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like for geriatric, and it's like for older people.
Okay.
But like the treadmill, I'll try and put it like a decent pace at about a 12 or 15% incline, and when you do that for 2 hours a day for 8 weeks, it does a lot of wear and tear in your foot.
Yep.
It did for me. And that's when I started getting that plantar fasciitis pain. It went away for probably 2-3 years. Started coming back when I tried to get after growing these calves.
Yeah.
It started coming back where it's a little bit too much pressure on the Achilles and the arch of my foot. But yeah, I got to try and get it addressed.
Yeah, dude.
You can't be rocking shorts and then have just 17-inch calves.
I always wonder that. You know what I mean? I don't feel bad when I wear shorts because. Even though I know I don't have like crazy legs, I'll look at some of these kids that come in there, or these college kids, and I'm like, oh well, at least I'm in the medium. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
Like, I'm definitely I don't got the, and even there's some bigger dudes in there that I know compete. Me and Connor have gone up and talked to, and even they need to hit legs a little more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't want to flame anybody, but I'm like, dude, your build looks really fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. We got guys up there with those like spaghetti tops with the nipples out, right? Jacked upper bodies.
Yeah.
But then their quads are about the same size as their calves.
And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
What happened?
It's like a Johnny Bravo look.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're young enough.
I remember. Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Is there any aesthetic mindfulness here? It's like,
yeah, and I feel like any like common sense woman is gonna be like, there's no way I'm gonna
what's this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything looks the same.
Yeah. Plus, you can look like a fool with the nipples out with those tank tops.
Yes.
It's like, come on, man.
Yep. I've been doing more and more hoodies because I used to be a big cut off. I don't know what it is. If I'm sweating, I want to be all in. Like I want it to be 110 degrees, and I want to be hitting somebody.
Yeah.
So I don't like sweating for some reason. And we've talked about this, especially if it's not working out. I do not want to be sweating whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
I feel disgusting. I want to go shower.
Let's say I was summertime, showering 2-3 times a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I got to. With jiu-jitsu, there's no way.
You gotta stay clean, man.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime, there's two things that I'll be a bitch about. If I start to feel something being tweaked and it's starting to turn from like hurt to pain, I'm cool with being hurt. That's athleticism. But once I start to feel that pain, I'm just going to take a couple days until it really subsides. I'm not going to go through the meniscus again. I'm going to just listen to my body. And the same thing comes with working out. But I think the second thing is when I start to see if my skin looks weird at all. If it fucking looks weird at all, you know what I mean? If I check my stuff every day of like, yo, do I have a cut or something that's like not healing? Because on my ankle it even healed weird. If you see that dark spot, so that was a cut that would not heal. So you
got it checked, right?
I took it to the jiu-jitsu instructor. He's like, yeah, we have staff going around, and I was like,
he's like, what do you think? He's like, yeah, I should be all right.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, they know because that's their whole life. They're like, we'll just take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so I keep peroxide over there because I'm here 24/7, and sometimes I'll just peroxide shit and just. It sounds probably kind of gross, but I'm not like them where some of them will some guy had cellulitis, which is like a way more extreme form of like staph, and it got into his blood.
So when that happens, do they make an announcement through like your
gym?
Like
they make they make an announcement. People are a little more at least they're somewhat respectful, but I don't know with sports, especially with jiu-jitsu, people will literally give up their whole lives and go like all in and not like just they'll these tournaments that nobody will ever hear about nor care about, nor do they get paid for. They'll let someone blow their knee apart just because they don't want to tap, because they have the idea of, and I respect it because that's the mindset you need to build up something hyper successful, and if you want to build up a career. But it's like, I don't know, that's something where I'm not willing to let someone blow my knee out my shoulder. I couldn't imagine.
That's very similar to bodybuilding and competing though. It's like one of those things. Obviously, if you have like a really big following on social media, you'd be an influencer and all that. You can get paid, you can get supplements, clothing, all that stuff, or whatever. But like if you're doing like regional or local level shows, you're not getting paid.
Yeah,
you're not getting paid for that. But that's why you'll see a lot of the guys that compete are. Some guys are just doing like a body transformation thing, but a lot of guys are personal trainers, or something like that, where they want to use that as like their business, or like they're like what I can do for you, right? I've done for myself, I could do for you, sort of deal. Yeah. Promote themselves, where it's like they've done won these shows, and just promote yourself that way too. Yeah. So that's one of the same thing. It's like there's a lot of things that it'll mess up your metabolism. Body dysmorphia is like crazy. Yes. Right. So it's one of those things where it's like you really can mess yourself up pretty mentally. It's like the same thing in jiu-jitsu. You pay to enter these shows. You pay for an NPC card or whatever federation you're going to compete in. Yeah. You pay for all that stuff. You pay for your spray tan, and then you go up there and you get a $10 trophy. Yeah, and then your biggest hope is just blowing up through more so probably marketing, and then you get sponsors. So you're not even going to get paid. I wonder how much Arnold even got paid from all of his competitions over the years. Probably nothing. It's a fraction of what they make now. Yeah. I think the winner of Mr. Olympia makes $400,000 or $500,000 for the show. That's great money, right? But I wouldn't say no to 400. Yeah, but also think about what they need to do to get to that point. Yeah, Ronnie Coleman, I don't know how he moves around right now, but it doesn't look very well. No. So what I've heard from the stories, like the documentary he has out there, he hurt himself when he did powerlifting in college. Okay. And that's one of those things where he just kept trying to push through it, and it did not work in his favor, obviously. What did he hurt? His back? His back. Yeah, that's like the worst. I think he had something like a slip disc or something in his back. Yeah. Where he's still able to train like a maniac. He still looks squatting decent. 800 pounds, deadlifting 800 pounds. Yeah. All that stuff while he competed with shows. and he looked like a monster, obviously.
Genetic freak.
But now you look at him compared to Jay Cutler, who trained a lot more intelligently.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler looks great.
I was
He's
telling
healthy.
somebody, Jay Cutler still looks like he's in his 40s. I was telling Connor that. He was like, no, he doesn't. I was like, yes, he looks way better than Ronnie Coleman. He's like, well, that's just because you're comparing him to him. And I was like, I don't know, dude. I just recently, because I was thinking of these guys, and I was like, I saw them, and I don't know what it was on, maybe some type of advertisement or just social media. And I was like, why does one look so much better than the other? Because they competed, right?
They're neck and neck for their whole career.
Yeah, and like they look completely different.
Yeah.
I was going to say Jay looks like he's how old do you think he looks?
I say his 40s for sure.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
I was.
I think he's like
he looks
55. I think 40, 55, 54.
And Ronnie Coleman looks like 90.
He's it's not good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he looks like. I mean, fuck. I mean, he looks like. I can't even say.
Yeah, it's not a good situation.
Yeah.
Dorian Yates, right?
I've heard that.
So he was right before Ronnie.
Okay.
And he was another guy who lifted really intensely.
Yeah.
Right. 45 minutes to an hour, 15 minutes, like super intense workouts.
Yeah.
But he also was a guy who pushed himself, like tried to beat the logbook type of thing.
Yeah.
Where he's lifting a lot of weight. He's still really mindful of the contractions, right? But he's torn biceps, messed up his shoulders, like a lot of tweaked things. When he retired, he had to retire because of injuries.
Yeah.
Sort of the same thing with Ronnie. We went too far, was lifting too much. The back injury caught up to him. It's the same thing. He had to get out. Dorian got out, I think, a little bit earlier and was able to, he's into yoga now. He's way healthier, looks healthy. Obviously looks aged, but I mean, anytime you dabble in that world, it's wild.
Shout out to Lifetime Yoga. I think I think Naja's I think that's her name. She's the instructor for my class.
Yeah.
It's fire, dude. It kills me.
I need to get into that.
It literally kills me.
My mobility is pretty embarrassing. I need to get into it.
I feel like I've gotten better. I don't know. I feel like I pretty much picked it up right when we probably started working together. But I did it for a couple years back when I was in Pittsburgh because just everybody was a big advocate of it just out where I was working. So I was like, all right, I'll do yoga. And
it's another way to the network though too.
Yeah, it is.
It's just another. I mean, when you see people that take those,
all the hot moms.
But it's like when you see the people that take those classes, more than likely they're not going up to the third floor.
Yeah,
you're just tapping in a different member base.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
Doesn't hurt.
No. So, what about? I always like to ask people this, just here and there. You have a favorite movie?
But I mean, it's hard to
narrow
down to one.
Yeah. I have a list of 70 right now.
Yeah.
What's your top 3?
Inception.
That's a good one.
Inglourious Bastards.
That's such a great fucking movie. I might just watch that right now.
Man, it's hard. I'd say Predator.
Did you watch the Prey?
No, not yet.
It's so good.
I heard it's good.
I have low movie standards.
I saw the Prey. Is that the one? The other one was Predators, right? Where a bunch of predators came to Earth again, and there's a bunch of mercenary guys coming after them too. Was that Predators or something like that, right?
Well, yes, the newer Predator.
So I haven't seen Prey then.
Prey basically came out last year, I believe.
Okay.
Either last year or the year before that, and even Joe Rogan talked about it and hyped it up. But I never tell anybody to take movie advice from me because I have such low movie standards. I like.
That's the thing too. It's like when I get into movies, I'll watch Fast and Furious and I know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not expecting. Yeah. Like mind-bending action or acting. It's just cheesy action. I get it. Cars can't jump buildings. I know.
Family.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about family.
It's all about family.
Yeah. But it's the same thing. We watch a Predator movie, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
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 You watch a Scorsese movie, you know what you're going to get.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about TV shows?
Oof. To be honest, I haven't watched a lot of TV in the last few years.
Game of Thrones, did you get into?
Dude, I try to watch. So this is, a lot of people are going to hate me for this. I jumped into the last season.
Wow.
Everybody talked about it. I'm like, you know what? If it's in the last series is over. I'll jump in. It's got to be entertaining, right? If it's entertaining, I'll dive back to season 1. I'll take this all in, right?
Yeah.
And I got halfway through the season. I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah.
Then there's an episode where it's like it was shot in the dark.
Yeah.
You can see shadows basically. I'm like,
I hate when they do that. Yeah, I hate when they do that.
And then the ending with the White Walker.
Yeah.
And it's so easily killed off. I'm like,
this
is the guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I couldn't get into it. I can't justify going back and watching all that.
Yeah.
But I love documentaries.
some other good shows.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's Netflix or like Amazon. You watch The Boys. You ever watch that?
I love that one. You like that?
I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one of my that's a top go-to for me.
Yeah, so The Boys are fun to watch. Just random movies. A lot of stuff where it's like I'll turn on stuff in the background while I'm cooking or like programming for clients or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of the classics like Die Hard and all that stuff I'll have in the background.
Yeah.
All those movies you've seen, a dozen times, and
yeah,
just throw it on.
Before we wrap up, any hobbies outside of work?
I'm trying to get. So my dad is very into golf. Back to the mobility thing.
Yeah.
I need to work on mobility because you'd be surprised. I'm not a huge guy, and it's hard to swing a golf club and actually send the ball where you want to send it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something where I want to work on mobility so I can actually swing a golf club and be decent.
Yeah.
Or at least be competitive with my brother.
Yeah.
So my dad's always going to smoke us.
Yeah. Golf, dude. That's like jiu-jitsu times 10.
Yeah. It's like there's
the
so much to work on.
That, yeah.
Yeah. And then with that, I mean, I like shooting like pool, pretty basic stuff, dude. It's nothing crazy. Like the working out, clients, all that stuff takes up a ton of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably say golf because you can play that into your later years.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't bodybuild forever.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things where, plus I'd like to enjoy spending time with my dad. So on a golf course, it's easiest.
Yeah.
Plus a little bit of shit talking. So
yeah. Yeah.
As much as I can. I'm not going to win.
Yeah. No.
So, yeah. But yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap up. Where can people find you if they want to get some fitness?
Yeah. So basically, just heavily on Instagram, Tommy.bfit or Tommy_Busch, BUSCH like Anheuser. But yeah, just that's Instagram. I feel like Facebook has kind of died out a bit, so yeah. I'm just more on Instagram. I tried to do a TikTok thing.
Yeah, Facebook's dead.
Work. Facebook is pretty dead.
Instagram's still a good solid spot. TikTok takes time, but I get a significant amount of ROI on TikTok.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, a significant amount.
We'll have to talk about that then, because I want to get a little bit more into programming online. I think that would be a big move to get on there.
Yes.
Yeah, just to promote myself more.
Yep. All right, brother. Well, thank you for coming on.
I appreciate the time, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes.